Welcome to the Greater Pensacola Chamber Toddcast, sponsored by Moorhead Real Estate Law Group. On the Toddcast, Chamber President Todd Thompson talks to the leaders that are making a difference and driving the conversations that will impact our community. Now here's the Chamber President, Todd Thompson.
Welcome back to the Greater Pensacola Toddcast. I'm Todd Thompson, President and CEO of the Greater Pensacola Chamber of Commerce. The Toddcast is sponsored by Moorhead Real Estate Law Group. If you have real estate questions or concerns, they are great people to talk to. Steve Moorhead's on our board and is a great supporter of the Chamber, and we really appreciate all they do for our community. Moorhead Real Estate Law Group. Check them out if you have real estate questions. So on the Toddcast today, we have someone who is in an important role here in Pensacola, but relatively new to our area. We have Darien Schaefer. He is the president of Visit Pensacola. Darien, welcome to the Toddcast.
Thank you. I love the title Toddcast.
It just awesome. Hit me one day. We were talking about doing a podcast, and I was out on a run. We were thinking about a name, and it just kind of like Toddcast. It just works.
It's great to be here.
Yeah. So, thanks for being here. Look forward to talking to you about your background and some of the things you've got going here at Visit. First, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to us here in Pensacola.
Well, I'm originally from Wisconsin. I was born in Milwaukee, and at the age of 12, my dad decided he wanted a family business, and he bought a campground in a big tourism destination in Wisconsin called Wisconsin Dells. And we ran it as a family, and really ever since then, I've always been in tourism. I caught the bug, and I really liked being a part of making an experience for someone.
Right.
And the power that individuals have, whether you're checking someone in at the hotel or you're serving a meal, you're giving them a paddleboard lesson, you have so much power over the kind of experience that they have.
Right.
That makes a memory that has people coming back again and again. So that's really what I love about the tourism industry, such a positive influence we can have, and being a part of that.
Yeah.
So then I went to school for hotel restaurant management at University of Wisconsin, a college called Stout. And coming out of college, I worked for Marriott Hotels, and then joined a hotel company called Tharaldson Hospitality that was growing significantly. They're building like 30 hotels a year. And so I served as an area director. I had 13 hotels I was responsible for, and I loved it. But was living in central Illinois and was looking to get back to Wisconsin, and those hotel jobs that I had just weren't available. So that's when I took a shift and looked at destination marketing. And there was a small startup convention and visitors bureau in Janesville, Wisconsin, home of Quinn Studer,
right?
Which I did not know at the time, but learned once I became more familiar with Pensacola, and it was great. And what I've learned is that every community has some unique things, and I can show anybody a good time for a weekend in any community,
right?
And from there, I worked for two other destinations in Wisconsin, up in northern Wisconsin, Wausau, which was actually 7 communities working together as one destination. And then down by the state border, Lake Geneva, which is really a beautiful lake destination. And then the most last few years, I've been at Big Bear Lake, California, which is a 4-season lake-based resort area with 2 ski hills up in the San Bernardino Mountains. So we're at 7,000 feet, and no humidity,
right?
Sun all the time, right. No mosquitoes. So that climate is pretty nice.
Right.
But when the opportunity came up here in the Pensacola area, it was really something that I got excited about. And while I loved Big Bear as a destination, it was somewhat incomplete. Whereas Pensacola has these amazing beaches, but we've got other parts of our economy. We have a thriving downtown. Mm-hmm. We have 4-year colleges. We have the military aspect. We've got big companies like Navy Federal Credit Union. And then, we have our own airport, and a great airport at that.
Right.
And, we're on a major interstate. There's so much going for, Pensacola, Pensacola Beach, Perdido, Key, Escambia County, that was really excited to jump at the opportunity. So I've been doing this now for 24 years.
Right. And how long have you been in Pensacola?
April will be 1 year.
Okay. So I couldn't remember if you came right before or right after the effects of COVID started. So I knew it was right around then. So yeah. So talk about that a little bit. I mean, you came in then in April. We're in lockdown mode. No tourism is happening. Here, welcome. You're in charge of tourism now. What was that like?
Well, pretty much everything you know to do had to be changed, because our primary role of marketing had changed. There are times when we couldn't market at all, and because of the different states of shutdown, not only with our own state, but our neighboring states, our drive to market, so to speak. And so it was really a challenge to balance, resident sentiment about visitors coming here, as well as the visitor sentiment about traveling at all, while, trying to help our local businesses stay afloat. And so we ran different programs. We really increased our communication with our partners, encouraged people to shop local, help out takeout for the restaurants. And that was, it was a great experience during a very difficult time.
Right.
And it allowed us to connect with, our partners in a way we really hadn't in the past. So our funding for our organization comes from a tax that are paid by visitors primarily at hotels and condos and vacation homes. And, with travel being down significantly, or not at all sometimes, our budget, we knew we'd have to cut it, because we wouldn't have the visitor paid revenue coming in by, it was over 28%. It was like $2 million.
Right.
And I got here right in the middle of that and having to make those decisions, which was tough. And it's been difficult for everyone. We had to, cut staff. We had to take popular programs and sideline them for almost a year. And then finally we ended up having to cut into our marketing, which we tried certainly not to do, but in the end we had to do that as well. So I will say that while it was a difficult process that I hope I never have to go through again,
Right.
It also helped us prioritize what's really important, what's effective, and kind of sharpen our focus for where we need to go forward.
Right. So we're sitting here today at your office. You mentioned you've had to make some staffing changes, but you are operating as the visitor center is open, people can come. Well, what's sort of the changes that you've had to institute because of what's happened?
Well, I'm generally an optimistic person,
right?
And I see bright things ahead for us as an organization, for our communities here in Escambia County. Yes, our office is right. We'll probably hear some of the construction going on during
we
the
can see it out the window here.
It is, watching the flyover now almost be completed, and knowing that, what a great asset that's going to be when it's done. And obviously the damage from Hurricane Sally's repaired, those are all positives. And it's not gonna really happen overnight. Business travel is gonna take some time to come back. The meetings and conferences, the group business is going to take some time to come back. And, unfortunately, even now, even as vaccinations are starting to happen and starting to ramp up, we're probably still going to see a lot of our events and festivals for the first 6 months of this year be canceled or postponed. I mean, we're seeing it. We just had the Double Bridge Run, which is great.
Right.
We've got the Sun Belt Basketball Conference coming the first week of March, so we're excited about having 24 teams come in and play at the Bay Center and then Pensacola State College. So those are all good. There is pent up demand for travel.
Right.
And because people haven't necessarily been able to travel, they've also have some pent up dollars to spend. So, I think we're going to see people spending more money when they travel and probably taking longer trips than maybe they normally would.
Okay.
And, we've done the painful process of the cuts, and we're positioned budget-wise and organization-wide to move forward. And we're already seeing a much better start to this year, this fiscal year, and seeing our numbers actually exceeding last year pre-COVID. So
Wow.
that's strong, and Hurricane Sally was certainly a part of it. The county gave us $500,000 to do out of CARES Act funding to do a marketing campaign to talk about safe travel to and throughout the county. We called it coastal distancing instead of social distancing.
Right.
And that's been really well received. And so we saw strong numbers, in the months of October, November, and December. And right now, I think we're keeping pace with January and February, which were really strong months last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we're definitely going to be doing better than, March through, the summer compared to last year. So we're excited. The bridge is going to be open by April 1st. I know that's to be true.
Right. I like your optimism.
And I'm fortunate. We have a great staff,
Right.
and a great board of directors that supports kind of what we need to do to move forward. And one nice thing is we were able to take advantage of a payroll protection program. So we're going to be able to, in our new structure, we've created some new positions that we're going to be able to start hiring this month. So that'll be great. Otherwise, we'd probably have to wait till 6 months from now to be able to do that.
Right.
So those are all really positive steps forward.
Right. Absolutely. So good start to 21. You mentioned some things that are upcoming. You got the basketball tournament. What just kind of for the year, you said, and we're seeing the vaccinations start more, and there is the pent up demand. So do you think, come April, May, we're going to see floods of people coming, or will it be incrementally a little bit better? Any sense on that?
I think that it's hard to say, right?
Yeah.
Even like last year, every month is something different.
Right.
Sometimes every week. So hopefully there's no setbacks. But if we start seeing all kinds of variant strains, of the COVID virus, then that's going to make an impact. But I know, my folks back in Wisconsin are getting their shots. They're excited to finally come and visit us here in Pensacola.
Good.
So it'll be interesting to see how it culminates. But I think there will be a strong demand for getting back out to Pensacola Beach. Perdido Key right now, according to some of the folks we've talked to out there, are already strong and are already, kind of booked through April into May. And
great.
It's a strong-looking summer. So what that means is we're going to have more people that will be staying inland at some of our inland properties and driving out to the beach.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good for everybody.
Very encouraging.
Yes. I know in preparing for this, you'd asked me about something that we had done recently, our unique emotional
I was just about to bring that up.
positioning study. And, that's one of those things that, my predecessor, Steve Hayes, had invested in research. And I'm a big believer in that as well. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we're always trying to do is trying to get a benchmark of where we are at right now. So as we move forward, we can measure that. And it's important to us to kind of revisit some of the research that's done in the past. And a unique emotional positioning study is all about identifying how visitors feel about coming to Pensacola Beach and Perdido Key and Pensacola in general. What's the emotions that they attach to it? What are the words they use to talk about our community? And so finding that emotional connection allows us then to use those words and create that emotional connection and invite people to come visit us. And so what we did is we did a total of 8 focus groups in 4 different destinations: Atlanta, Nashville, Dallas, and Houston. And, it's a series of questions that we work with our research agency down in St. Germain on. And, we're asking them to describe their experiences and what they look forward to and what drives them to choose our area, what's the difference between our area and other beaches along the Panhandle. And, the primary driver is something I think we all know, which is the white sand beaches and the blue-green water, because we asked about everything else. What are the other aspects? I mean, there's a lot of things as residents that we hold near and dear, we're very proud of. Those don't always mean those are the key drivers that attracts people to our destination. So when we asked them about those things, they said, listen, we can get culture here in Dallas. We can get nightlife here in Nashville, sports, events, the culture. We can get those things. But the one thing we can't get is the white sand beaches and the blue-green water. And our amazing beaches is what that primary driver is, what's top of mind. And so, that just reinforces what we know so we can move forward. And, when you try to be all things to all people, it's really hard to be effective in your marketing. And, we know that you have to pick something and use that as your driver. And then we have all these tools, all these different distribution channels. We call them distribution channels. So it's our website, it's our insider guide, our visitor's guide, it's our emails and our social media, it's our app and our visitor centers, all designed that once we have our visitors in the planning process, committed to coming to Pensacola, that we use all these channels to expose them, to encourage them to explore the entire county.
Right.
Really the hardest job is to get them here, and then we rely on our partners and all our local businesses that the handoff from us to them to get them in to their front doors.
Right. Well, because you hear it often, people who come down for a week, they spend first 2 or 3 days at the beach, and then they're like, okay, we need to find something else to do. So that, there, like you said, there are so many avenues for exploration and things to do, but it's not always the top of mind that drives people here.
I'm sure it varies, but I was told when I got here that spending 3 to 4 hours on the beach is about the max that people can do before they need to come inside and get out of the sun or looking for something else to do. So, we've got some time to fill. And by making, the beach is just the beginning, which is one of our taglines, still right on focus. It is. It's just the beginning because there is so much else to do in the county. That's still right on target for us. And that is really going to be our continued focus.
Right. So you mentioned you've worked in some other parts of the country in tourism and marketing. Are there initiatives that you've seen in other communities that you'd want to bring here, or some different ideas of things that maybe we haven't done in the past?
Well, we have some great entities that already exist, and in other destinations they had to be created. We've got Pensacola Sports that really focuses on bringing sports events and those kind of tournaments to the community. And then you've got ACE that really supports the arts, the culture, and the entertainment. It's quality of life pieces for residents as well as visitors. So, don't really need to have to put some of those things in place. We're fortunate that they're here. I think always reinforcing, the quality of our beaches and what we need to do to take care of them. Sustainable tourism is going to be something that we talk more and more about as an organization. And I think, we can do some internal things right now to help communicate what we do to residents, to the business community, to city and county government. So an advocacy plan that really lays out a schedule and the kind of information we're going to share. Because without a plan, it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
We're going to talk about it a lot. So putting that plan together is really going to be really important because there's always some misconceptions about what organizations do, and sometimes I'll talk to someone and they'll be like, "Well, that guy from the chamber was really nice," and I'll be like, "No, that's Todd. Todd is the one who's making all the great things happen at the chamber. I'm doing this, the tourism side of things with Visit Pensacola." So trying to reinforce, what we all do as strengths, giving certainly credit where credit's due, is important. Right. And, I'm looking forward to putting that into place. I'm also looking forward to bringing back some of our programs. When we did budget cuts, we had to cut quite a bit of programs and some funding that we did. One of them was called the event grants. Mm-hmm. And, those are designed to help create new events during shoulder seasons. And that's a program that was very popular. And we've had several existing events take advantage of that and right. take themselves to the next level. So what's that going to look like? This is an opportunity for us to kind of retool. And again, like everything else I have to do with less funds, get the most benefit out of that, the greatest return on investment. Right. So that, we help new events get started. And after a few years, the design is they should be able to stand on their own 2 feet. And we can use those dollars to help other events, right. other programs get started, so that we have really a great year-round, calendar of events and festivals that are great for residents and great for visitors. Yeah. And then, as a destination marketing organization, we're going to be continuing working on involving our brand in how we talk about a Pensacola experience. And the beach is just the beginning, like I mentioned before, is a great way to, nod to the importance of our primary draw, but, with a great focus of using our distribution channels mm-hmm. more and more to get people to explore and see other parts of the county. Right, right. And I know I'm excited about the basketball tournament being here. I'm a basketball guy, so that's just coming up. It'll be here before we even know it. Yeah, we're less than a month away. So yeah. Today would be in 4 weeks would be our championship title games on Monday. So, okay. It starts March 5th at Friday games through the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and then the 2 championship games will be on Monday. Okay. And another opportunity to showcase, because you work with the Sun Belt Conference on, there's some marketing aspects of that as well. We do. So it's been a team accomplishment. Pensacola Sports, the Bay Center, the county, Visit Pensacola have all contributed time and dollars towards bringing this tournament here for the next 5 years. And we see it as the beginning of hopefully additional Sun Belt Conference programming coming to our market, right. Because we've got great tennis facilities, baseball stadium, on and on. So we got to see where those pieces fit together. But once you successfully host an event at that level, it really opens us up to other opportunities, and it's bringing people to the Pensacola area that may not have otherwise come, regardless right. of how great our beaches are, right. or history or culture. They're seeing our community for the first time. And I've always said that everything starts with a visit. Mm-hmm. Someone's coming to our community for the first time, it's as a visit. And it might be a day trip, or it might be an overnight. It might be a meeting or conference that brought them here, or a sports tournament, or they saw a festival or an event. I mean, those are all different ways that people will find their way to the Pensacola area. And, from personal experience, the first time I saw this community and the beaches, my wife and I fell in love right away. And mm-hmm. it's like we were so excited to be able to become a part of this community. And so not every destination sells itself, but I certainly believe that this destination does. Absolutely. So anything else you want to share? We've covered a lot, but see if there's anything else you got. I would just probably close by saying, while Visit Pensacola is about marketing our community, as a great destination to visit, we're also a community partner. So, we're here to work with local businesses. We're here to work with peer organizations mm-hmm. like the Pensacola Chamber of Commerce, to raise the quality of life for all of our residents. A lot of what we do is to the benefit of our residents. If it's something that a visitor enjoys, it's certainly going to be something our own residents have enjoyed, and obviously for many, many years. So to that end, I'm really looking forward to meeting more people right. in person right. and getting more involved every week. Yeah.
Well, and it's important from my perspective that, we're working together as much as we can. We need to be moving in the same direction. And like you said, the bottom line is we're helping our businesses. The more tourism we have, that's just going to help the economy. And and I'm glad we've got to know each other a little bit here recently, and look forward to the future. But appreciate you being here, being on the podcast, and look forward to an exciting future.
As do I. Todd, Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Darien Schaefer, president of Visit Pensacola, thank you for joining us today on the Toddcast.
Thanks for listening to this edition of the Toddcast. To learn more, check out the Greater Pensacola Chamber's Facebook page and follow us on Twitter at ToddcastPCola. That's Toddcast, letter P, colon. We hope you join us again next time on the Toddcast.